Player and passionate about helping others? Here at Indiana Healthcare Services, we are looking for a healthcare assistant and nurse to work in and around Devon and Cornwall. Why work for Indiana? We make sure you work when you want to work, hours that suit your lifestyle. And above all, we provide in-house training and competitive rates of pay. Pick up the phone and call us now on 01752 418 014 or head over to our Facebook page.
What's up, people? It's your boy Boo Boo, and you're tuned into Plymouth's favourite radio station right now. At P-Town Radio, we can advertise your business on a small cost. For more information, contact us on email info@ptownradio.co.uk.
Yes. Good morning, good afternoon. This is an afternoon to Plymouth, afternoon to the world, to our listeners. We're just settling in here at P-Town Radio. This is Tendai Madume. As usual, I'm back on another Friday, just to give you another taste of business talk every Friday when we sit here and talk things that might help you. Listen, I was away last week. Thank God I was away, because the people who took over last week, they did a very fantastic job. If you miss our show from last week, please head over to P-Town Radio Facebook page and listen again. It was words of wisdom from our guest who was here. Two guests actually. Jabo managed to pull two guests in my absence. Every time I'm here, he can even pull one in. As soon as I just not attend an absence, Jabo takes two people in the studio and they do wonderful job. So please, if you are listening to us or we just joined in on our Facebook pages and wherever you listen us from, we are also live on our app. Just let us know, give us a heads up and shout out to find out if we are sounding good. Just want to make sure that everything is sounding good before I carry on. So please, if you are listening to us on our Facebook page, just give us a thumbs up. I know we are running a bit late. The time here is 26 minutes to 1 UK time. We are down here in Devon, Plymouth. So please, just I'm waiting for a heads up on our sound. Jabo, is everything sounding good? Do you have any way to find out for me? I think we are sounding good. I want to hope so. Yeah. Yes, I got thumbs up from my usual guy who's always around with me here in the studio. Jabo, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, Tendai. Good afternoon good afternoon, Friday afternoon.
Yes, it is.
Friday, reminding you it's a Friday afternoon.
Yes. We should. I don't need to be reminded. Every time I see you, Jabo, especially you're wearing that shirt of yours, an African attire, I know it's a Friday. But listen, you're not alone on screen, because clearly we're using one camera to show both of you. We've got a guest today who's going to share us some wonderful news. The show today is an interesting show. It's an open discussion regarding around business and around networking. Jabo, what do they say? Your network is what?
Your net worth.
Is it? Introducing our guest for the first time, Benson Campbell. How are you doing, my brother?
I'm very good.
Good to have you here.
Yeah. Very good to be here.
Yes, appreciate you. Before we jump into our show, I just want to give enough time for people to listen to us. Listen, if you are out there right now, don't go away. I know people are tuning in right now. Our Facebook page is looking good. Stay put, because we're talking about networking. Networking is your net worth. Jabo just reminded me there. So please don't go away. There's so much happening down here in the Southwest. Listen, we talk about the Southwest a lot, because that's where we are. P-Town Radio is based in the Southwest of UK. So before we go any further, we put our disclaimer out there. The views and ideas expressed in the following programs are only the views of myself, Jabo Butera, and clearly our guest, Benson Campbell. They are not the views expressed by P-Town Radio as a radio station. If you want to follow us, you can find us on P-Town Radio on Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter, website, wherever you are, we are there. Just Google P-Town Radio. But of course, as usual, we are never alone in this program. We are with our colleagues at GBI. GBI is our friends in partner with this show, and the sponsors, of course, our sponsors, our coffee. Jabulani coffee, which we normally take here every morning. Benson has a chance to taste it this morning. I'm going to hear his view very soon of this wonderful coffee Jabulani giving us here in the Southwest. But please don't forget to follow DBI on their platforms. There's DBI Southwest on Facebook, also available on Twitter and LinkedIn. So much content there. And also just to drop it in there, the gala is coming back.
Oh, yes.
Jabu, how are you this morning, this afternoon?
Excited. This afternoon,
Yes.
I'm excited. Actually, we've even before the gala, we're having an amazing event this afternoon. We have the African night storytelling this evening. So part of the Black history, part of the Plymouth history.
Yes.
We're doing the African storytelling this evening here in Plymouth. So
Yes.
for those following us online, unfortunately you might be far. Giving a shout to my friend Thierry who's in Canada. He's probably going to miss the African storytelling. And Benson is going to be going to Turkey, and I'm sure he might come back.
Yes, yes,
Not
yes.
tonight, no.
Yes, so let's jump into our program for this afternoon, Jabu. Before we do that, of course, we gotta know more about our guest, Mr. Benson Campbell, based in the Torbay.
Newton Abbot.
Tell us more.
Yeah, so I'm based in Newton Abbot, Teambridge. It's the market town, about 40 minutes away. A bit about me and the organisation that I work for is BNI, and I own the franchise for Devon and Cornwall. So we help people in business to get more visibility through our business groups to help them make more money and improve themselves and their business.
Yes. Yes. Wow. It doesn't get any better than that, Jabo, does it? We're talking about someone from the Torbay. My understanding is from off air. You've been around for almost, in the region for almost
23 years.
23 years.
Yeah.
Yes. And how long you been doing this networking? Your company, how old is it?
With BNI, this is my 10th year. We've
10th year.
celebrated 10 years this year.
Yes.
So
Fantastic.
The core philosophy is our philosophy. We call it giver's gain. To everybody else, is what goes around comes around. Is the philosophy, and if you do the right things, then you reap the repercussions of those, and you do it for the right reasons.
Yes, yes. Jabo, I mean, we're talking about networking here.
Yes.
So which is clearly Mr. Benson is into, and not only that, he's been around for almost 23 years
Yes.
in the region.
Yes.
We talk about the BME. We've been sitting here, me and you, for almost 2.5 years now, going 3 years, every Friday, talking about business, talking about the importance of networking. There we are. We've got a gentleman just off, his English Riviera.
Yeah, to
Yes.
compare to the French Riviera.
Yes, yes.
So this is where it happens.
Yes.
Thank you for that, Tendai, and reminding we've been here longer talking about these opportunities. So BNI, for those, that's the Business Network International, and if you are in business and you really want those. How can I call them? Impactful or meaningful referrals. That's the place you need to be.
Yes.
I'm talking from experience.
Yes.
I'm talking from personal experience as a business person. Because in business, what we always say, people buy people.
Yes.
Referrals, you can put advert on television and radio and other places, but that personal referral, it's crucial in business. And that's where you find authentic referrals.
Yes.
People refer you not because just, he's part of our network. No, they build relationships. So it's amazing. I cannot recommend it high enough. So it's a place really, if you're in business, don't miss out.
Okay, Jabo. I mean, well said. I appreciate that. But for the benefit of our listeners, let's break it down slowly. Mr. Benson Campbell here, BNI, which people please go and check it out. It's BNI Devon and cornwall.co.uk. That's their website, and I'm sure you give us more handles in terms of social media these days as the show goes on. But I just want to make sure focusing mainly the importance of networking from the BME perspective. This show, we try and encourage and help and support the BME people in the Southwest, including myself.
Yes.
I'm from that category, so it is important to understand the networking part of this particular group. Jabu, I want to know, what is it? Actually, let me ask Mr. Benson here. What is it that is why is it important for the BME business owners to network?
So, it's a good question. So, what tends to happen is, and whether it's the BME community, whether it's the social community or business people themselves, generally speaking, what we need is a community of people to move our business forward. When you work in isolation and you're a solopreneur, your visibility in the community is limited to the people that you know. Actually, the minute that you go and start networking and building external relationships, you're now creating visibility in communities that you don't know that exist. And you should do it for the right reasons. If you're doing it only to get something out of it, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons. If you can bring something and put something into the pot, I talk about networking like a bank account. If you do it early enough, build relationships, see how you can help other people. At some point, you might want to take from that pot. So just like a bank account, you make deposits, you make deposits, you make deposits. At some point, you'll want to withdraw. Now, that could be a month, it could be 6 months, it could be in a year's time. We've all got aspirations of what we think we would like to achieve in business, but it makes it difficult when you go on that journey on your own because you're only limited by the knowledge that you have, what good and bad looks like. The minute that you have a network to tap into to go, I have an idea, what about this? Well, actually, talk to Jabo. Jabo's got some contacts, and actually, someone's gone down that path already, and these are some pitfalls you might want to consider. That could save you your business either surviving or costing you £5,000 or £10,000. More often than not, what you tend to find in the BME community, they stay as a cottage industry. They stay small.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to sell within the community, and ultimately, the ones that tend to be more successful is the ones that expand out and sell through the community into the wider community. And the minute you make yourself more accessible to the wider community, then you have a business that can scale up. There's always a limit to your target market if you niche down. And in some cases, that might be right that you niche down because that's your target audience. Our food shouldn't be niched down. Our clothes should not be niched down. But if you only sell them in our community, then don't be surprised that people outside the community don't buy them.
Yes.
That is, wow, a lot of wisdom word there.
Yes, Jabo.
I don't know if you're getting the same excitement like that.
Listen, being a host sometimes can take my time away. Jabo, I'm sure you're writing some things down there. Breaking down for us. What are you writing down there, Jabo?
I mean, I've spent quite a lot of time with Benson, and I always appreciate spending time with Benson. And every time he speaks, there is a lot of wisdom coming out of it. And those terminology sometimes, which makes people waking up and saying, oh, when you say solopreneur, most people think about, I'm an entrepreneur. Are you a solopreneur? Have you heard about that terminology?
No.
Just you and yourself.
Yes.
And then he talks about the visibility and the right reason. And we drop down to what they call cottage industry.
Yes.
Can you hear those things? I just thought I'm a barber, and that's all I know how to cut. So I'm the one cutting the hair. I'm the one who's doing all the work, and I only cut black people hair. How are you going to expand?
Yes.
And then we always say that here, if you're not going up, you're going down.
Yes.
So that's why it's important to go and meet other minded people to be able to do what? Scale up.
Yes.
So you have a startup, but with the purpose of what? Scaling up. If you're starting up with that intention of scaling up, you're going to close down. Oh, wow. There's a lot of it.
There is, Jabo. Just to really, confirm what we just talked about there. My question was network. How is it important for the BME people, business people, to be networking? There's certain things here that you touched on. We're talking about partnerships, talking about collaboration, finding new contracts, finding new fundings. Because sometimes you just never know, isn't it? If you are in your own box, like a sole entrepreneur, like you just said, you won't know the guy next door is getting a funding of 10,000, and you're competing with him every day, not even realizing actually no, whatever he's doing is not even from his pocket, because he managed to find out a source of funding, which you can also tap into, because you are so, like you just mentioned, this word is now probably stuck in my head now. So entrepreneur, you'll be fighting yourself now. From us, some of us are black people from Africa. We start to use voodoo to think, why is my neighbor doing better than myself?
Yeah.
But only what it takes is for you to step out of your comfort zone and interact with others. We're talking about the importance of networking. Mr. Benson, going back to yourself in terms of where you are there in Newton Abbott? Yes. What's the network like in terms of the BME background in your area?
Limited. Very limited. I mean, for many years, I didn't see anybody else.
Yeah.
I mean, there's more people in the community now. But the interaction, there isn't a community.
That's correct.
And I think in terms of what network is that you have to look at it from a relationship point of view. Having people that you can have a relationship with and have a conversation with is an important tool. There's a thing that they call social compliance, and what that social compliance is, someone does something and runs a business in a certain way, or they go to a networking event and they behave in a certain way, and then everybody follows suit because they think that's the norm.
Yeah.
If you don't go out and network and experience different networks, then you don't know what the social compliance rule is. People will follow everybody else, but you actually need to go and understand what good looks like for you, not follow what everybody else does. From a networking point of view, so if you see it as lifelong learning, that you need to educate yourself to be the best version of yourself.
Yep. Yes.
Now, if you choose not to educate, if you don't go out and talk to people that have gone on the journey of business success or social community groups, and you're not talking to the people that have learned how to make money, invest money, what they do in terms of strategic growth, thought process, if you're not having these kind of conversations, your mindset can only be limited to what you think is possible, not what is possible.
Yes. Yes. Do you hear that, Jabo? Yeah. I'm making sure my friend here is listening, so that when me and him stays behind here, we grasp on all these wisdom words. Jabo, do you know why I ask if how is the BMA support or network it is in a Tor Bay, or which I just call maybe Tor Bay because it makes it easier, is we have people.
Yeah.
We have business people from the BME background around, but they're not coming on the table. They are not sharing, like you just said. They're not sharing ideas. I don't know why that doesn't happen often, Jabo. I know DBI, we're here every day talking about DBI. Come if you want to start your businesses, if you want to learn how you can, even without finance. And to be honest, frankly speaking, the response is more from our white counterparts than it is from the BME people. So the question is now, because we are here to try and educate and make people understand, Jabo, the importance of networking, because what that does is also bring sustainability. That means you open businesses that stays longer, and if business stays longer, the people who are moving in a region stays longer. Yes. People are coming in a region, they can't find I don't know, a Kentucky fried, I don't know, they can't find a jollof fried rice shop, for example. It opens only for 6 months, and then you send them again. They go, that place is shut, because we are missing all these opportunities of networking and finding out and growth. Jabo, emphasize on that for us.
So I think you touched on it. They're there for a certain period and then disappears. So there's that birth and the boom and bust. We see quite a lot of that in our communities, and networking is one of the main reasons that will keep you afloat. And Benson touched on it. Learning. When you're willing to learn, when you're talking about these social compliances, a continued learning. It's not say you're going back in the books and read all the time. No, you learn from those who've done the work. And this is the, you touched on it about the purpose of this radio show. It's Benson. A lot of people relate to him, and they'll be learning now with this language. They're hearing from his mouth coming from there. They're like, oh, he looks like me, and but he speaks this way. I can be that person. Representation is very important. And having individuals from the black community and minority communities coming into this networking, it will give them the chance to learn from others who are in the business. So don't forget, here we're talking about in the business sector. And I think we touched it before. Being an entrepreneur sometimes can be lonely. You're finding you on your own, and the challenges are in your own head, and you don't know where to look to find the solution or the answers. And sometimes you even go and Google it, but it gives you hundreds of different ways of thinking, and it's not that concrete. You don't relate to it. This is the place you go, and you'll find those who've been there before you. They've passed there before you, and they've paved the way. They know how to solve that problem. It could be for you, it has been a massive hindering or that reason for you to close, but the other person will tell you, no, have you heard about this way of solving it? We were having a conversation earlier on. You're saying how not to be uncomfortable to talk about comfortable, or to be comfortable talking about uncomfortable situation.
Yes.
It's a character shaping. But you to go the next level, to become a successful and bring that legacy you're talking about for a business to stay longer, many years longer, you require those characters shaping. And you're not going to get them by staying solo in your own corner.
Yes.
You need to go and do what? Network.
That's correct.
And that's what we're saying. I was talking about the worth. The worthiness is not the amount of the money in your pocket. It comes after. But the worthiness is the relationship you've built. And Benson was talking about earlier on, and I'm sure he's going to touch again. That's how much you are worth. Because your portfolio or your wallet, the notes are in there, they're not a £10, £20. It's about £5,000, because me and my relationship with Benson, it's worth more. Because if I need anything, I'll give him a call. And he'll come back to me and say, yo, go this way and that way. That's how much I'm worth to get that information. So I don't struggle to find solutions. While someone else who does not have that network, does not have that relationship, they will struggle just to unlock a small challenge. So network is really key. And that's the challenge we're talking about within our community. We don't see much of it, and you mentioned it. Yes, we have individuals from the black community in the business. We have those who are there, but the representation in these networking places, they're very, very minimal, and it hasn't sunk in our communities that it's key for our success.
That's correct. Mr. Benson, just coming to you here with this particular question. Take me through one of your networks. What happens there? Let's just give a picture of what normally happens in your sessions. You've been doing this now. You just mentioned to me that you are now in a 10th year. Happy anniversary, by the way, from P-Town Radio and the crew. Please just give us, enlighten us of what normally happens on these events, so people can have a picture.
There's several levels of networking. So, okay, let me take a couple of steps back.
Appreciate it.
Because we're a referral organisation, and most people get confused between referrals and leads. So let's just take that kind of step process. When most people go and do marketing, i.e. digital marketing, what you're looking for are leads. Okay, and if you take the sales process of 1 to 10, no matter what you're buying, when you create a sales funnel or you get an inquiry, you get people that are interested. And bear in mind, this is transactional because it's about the price, because there is no relationship.
Yeah.
And somewhere through that process, they start going through the process. They're happy with your company, they're kind of happy with your product. You're still probably at 6 or 7 in terms of the buying process. Somebody wants to choose to spend money with you. Doesn't matter how quickly this is, because this can be a couple of minutes, this could be hours or weeks. But there's a sales process. Now, the difference between coming to my particular networking group is that we talk about referrals. That means someone is in the market for the product that you're looking for. they're happy to have a conversation. It's not guaranteed business, but they'll take a call.
Yes.
They'll take a call. So I can go, Jabo, someone wants some idea about a community idea. They've got, say, in Birmingham, okay, I thought you might be able to help. You have to give them a call. Now, there's another way that a lot of people go around that is, I know Jabo, really great, give them a call. And then someone rings Jabo, and Benson said to give you a call. I don't know what Benson's talking about. Benson hasn't given me... So there's no heads up.
Yeah.
There's no commitment to support or want to share that information.
Yeah.
So referrals are key because effectively what we do is that we give people a high echelon starts. Now we all know through word of mouth that if I recommend something to you, the chances are that you're likely to buy it. Unless you don't connect with the person or the price is too much, the chances are it's virtually a done deal. In some cases it's a done deal because it's been sold right and positioned right. Mm-hmm. But we're on a scale of 1 to 10, we're probably hanging around what I call 7 or 8, 9 in the sales process. So we've gone past, I'm inquiring, I'm definitely in the market, I have got some money to spend, and actually we're having a conversation around that. So networking is about going out and getting visibility, and I'll come back to your point in a minute if I may.
Yeah.
The reason why networking is important, okay, is that, you know, it's fundamentally now that if you look at the Indian community, that collaboration is key.
Yes.
Yeah. Why is it that an Indian is classed as a national dish now? Because we're all here at the same time. We all came over at the same time. Mm-hmm. Fundamentally, we've been behind the curve and actually not learnt from them. They brought their food in and extended their visibility and given people an opportunity. And what we always try and do is operate within our own community when there isn't a viable, sustainable fiscal community to pay for that journey. Because once I spend that money with you, then if I don't need it for 6 weeks, then I can't spend it for another 6 weeks. You know, if you need 100 clients per week and there are only 80 people in the community to support your business, then you need to go outside of your community to get another 20 clients.
That's right.
Yeah, but that's not what we look at. That's not the way people behave. They're just thinking, well, I'm in the community. You've got to step out of it. And networking in my particular business is around, one, you're the only person in the profession in that group, that business group that does that particular thing. So therefore, you can invest time in terms of relationships, educating people how to refer you. You're not selling to those people in the group because those people in that group will use you at some point anyway. But if you take that group, even if it was only 10 people, each one of those groups have what? Let's just say they had 100 people in their community. You've now got access to 1,000 people. You've got visibility to 1,000 people. And most people have a bigger network of people in their community and friends in terms of visibility. Now, when you scale it up, if you're part of a group of 20 or 30, then that relationship, that visibility opportunity increases exponentially, because if I educate you how to refer me, okay, then the type of referrals I get from you is more significant. I don't need to go into that community because you're doing that work for me. Now, what tends to happen is if you don't go out into the community, then you're waiting for passing trade. You're waiting for word of mouth.
Yes.
Whereas you can educate people to go and start conversations. So we talk about something called the reticular activator, and most people don't recognise this. But I'm going to get reticular activator. Okay. So here's the reticular activator, because most people think, oh, that doesn't apply to me. Have you bought a car that you didn't think was popular? The minute you bought that car, you saw that car everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everywhere.
Yes.
Everywhere.
Yes.
Right. Well, if you could educate people to what to listen out for and what to say, that's the reticular activator. The same principle applies in networking. If you can educate people what you're looking for, and they can hear what's being said in the community, and they can see what's being said in the community, they can start conversations on your behalf. Because we always see these opportunities once we're made aware of them.
That's a new word.
Yes, yes, yes. I don't know how to follow that up, Mr. Benson. Jabo, I don't have words. I don't have words often, but it's exciting. This is exciting. This is rich.
It is very.
I can't express enough what you have said there. And like I said, we sit here Friday after Friday. Some people call us, words and think we are being paid to be here. But let me guarantee you, we don't get any penny. But we try week in after week in and try to make sure we reach out to our people. We give them information that sometimes actually information that is you have to pay for. Literally. You've just given here a masterclass information for someone who is out there thinking, this networking they keep talking about, what is it about? And you put it in a very for the five minutes there you've spoken there, and I'm listening. Like I said, I'm also part of the growth. Like I said to you, Jab, every time we sit here, I learn from Jab. Sometimes Jab will come up with some Rwandan terms that I can't even imagine to think of by myself, and I'm like, okay. By the time I left here in a week, before I see Jabo again, it's still playing in my head, and I want to appreciate you, Jabo. I'll come back to you, Jabo. You've just heard what Mr. Benson have said there, Mr. Campbell. Mr. Campbell have said there. What's your take?
I think, as you're saying, it's the appreciation first of all, with this wisdom we're getting here, and he's making himself available, saying he's available to give that to the community because he loves to be part of that change in our society. He's a positive contributor to our own society, and it's the word we're talking about here, and you give an example of saying, once you bought a car, and you start seeing some everywhere, it's really, really a key thing for most people to understand. And how do you tune the language so that people, whenever they hear that question, they think about you. So these are the masterclasses that Tendai mentioned about how do we speak, how do I provide my pitch or my product so that everyone starts seeing it everywhere, because they're there. And you just say you've sold. You cut off the earlier parts, so like 1 to 5, you've done the sales already. So it's not like as you're saying, passing trade. It's not like you just put in say everyone come. No. These people already in the market, they are looking for it, and it's just to finishing it off now. It's you are like 70% already in. What is left for you is just to do the rest 30%. Most sometimes it's just you've done 90, it's only 10%. Correct. Pick that call and do it. And that's the importance of networking, and that's why we need to be able to understand it and share with everyone. And this applies universally, actually. It's not only...
So let me just pick up on that, okay? Because what some people also miss from networking is it becomes relationships.
Yeah.
It's not transactional. So if I have a relationship with you...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't have a relationship with you.
Yeah.
And you're charging me £10, but you're charging me 15.
Yes.
Okay. Logic says fiscally I should go with you because you're cheaper.
Yes.
That's correct.
Yes. But if I have a relationship with you, I can justify why I'm spending my money with you.
Yeah.
That's correct.
But if you're not out in the community getting visibility, then I'm always going to make a transactional decision rather than a relationship decision.
I like that. I think it's good you touch on that one again, Benson. If you are not there and having that community visibility, you're going to do a transactional, not a relational purchase.
And relationship purchases or repeat purchases, transactionals aren't guaranteed.
I'm out.
Are you done, John?
That's my cure for the whole month.
Yes.
Did you hear that?
No, tell us, John.
Right? Relational transaction, a repeated transaction, right?
Yeah.
Compared to the, what's the other one?
A transactional relationship.
Yeah, the transactional relationship. So
just buy there because it's cheaper.
Yeah, you're passing by because it's cheaper. They're not gonna come back.
Not because Tendai is in that shop.
Yes, but because they built that relationship with you.
Yes.
And you're visible, And visibility is not just being present. Visibility has more.
That's correct.
How visible are you? So when I'm crying, are you crying with me? When I'm laughing, are you laughing with me? When it's raining, are we together? And when it's sunny, are we together?
Jabo, hold on there. So are we saying on this table that the business from the BMA background are transactional? Because what will happen is they will hickory hike because Mrs. Brown or Mrs. Kojo have opened a food chain, African restaurant, Zimbabwean cuisine. Now you go there for transactional service because you're just gonna go buy once and do one. But if you build a relationship, that means Miss Kojo's Zimbabwean cuisine is gonna last longer because you're gonna eat this month and next month. So most likely that what we do is we get those businesses whereby the first 3 months they're transactional businesses.
Yeah, the curiosity was there.
By the curiosity businesses where you just go and buy
it's
there's
new,
no
let's go and see.
relationship, new restaurant, it's a new place in town.
Let's go and see.
Let's go and see.
Yeah.
And then it fades off.
Yeah.
Then you left yourself scratching your head thinking, I was doing well 2 months ago.
Yeah.
What happened?
Everyone is gone. So because you did not build a relationship.
That's correct.
And 2, you are not part of the networking. You are not part of the networking. That's the big key here. So because you were a solopreneur, you sat in your corner and people were coming to you. You know, that time there was that novelty. When the novelty wears off, what's gonna hold you continuing?
That's correct.
Is that being part of a network?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. If you look at your target audience, because quite often, if you look at the 3 components of an entrepreneur, there's the skill, there's the management process and systems and everything else, and then there's the vision. Very few people have all 3 components, which is why you should network. Because quite often people have the skill, so I can make a dress, I can make a cake.
That was my next question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Skills.
But in terms of, so you might have a vision of what you want to do, but you won't know how to manage that process around it. So most often some people have the skill and they have the management process, but they lack the vision. Well, how do I get into new territories? How do I get into new markets? How do I spread this across Plymouth? Most people don't need to operate outside of Plymouth, and they could have a very successful business. The problem is they're actually working within the community, not the city. Their visibility is within the community, not the city. They don't need to go out of the city. There's 245,000 people plus here. Okay, now, if you imagine that transaction where you cross over boundaries of communities and give yourself that visibility, even if you times that by 3 or 4 in terms of communities, what would that look like for your business if you only dealt from a community element? From a fiscal point of view, what you're saying is, well, I know what my average transaction value is, and to survive in business, I need to do X amount of transactions. It doesn't matter what you are or who you are. If you've got a business and you do £1,000 worth, your average transaction value is £1,000, and you want to generate £20 a week, then you need to do 20 transactions. Most people aren't even aware that that's their fiscal challenge. Because they go, well, my average value varies. Well, yes, it does vary, but if you do 10 transactions and you generated £10,000, you might have sold something for 50p and you might have sold something for £900. The average is still 500.
Yes.
And you need to understand how many transactions you need to get to that to make it survive. That way, when you're planning forward, you know, well, if you've only done 2 transactions today, then you're 8 transactions behind. Tomorrow's transactions need to be 18, not another 10, because you're already 8 behind. And if you keep moving forward saying, I need to do 10 per day, then you'll always have a higher transaction count in some days than others. Weekends might be higher than midweek. But your transaction count still needs to be averaged out.
Yes.
Which is I think it goes well with what you were talking about earlier on when you say transaction and the example you gave with the banking.
Yes.
So the management and the calculation, simple maths. Everyone these days knows how to put money in the bank. And everyone knows how to take the money out. So you cannot go and ask the bank to give you money. because just to have money. Everyone knows that's where the money is. The money is in the bank, isn't it? You cannot just stand in the bank saying, "Oh, you have money, give me money." The question I'm going to ask you, how much did you put in there?
Well, actually, I'm going to stop you. You can do that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. You can only get money out of the bank without putting it in if you have the credit in the first place.
Yes. So you have to build your credit first.
You have to build up your credit first.
So you have to do something.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of just, can I have?
Yeah.
No. They'll check your credibility, which you have to earn.
Yes.
You can't
10
get
years, 20
credibility
years worth of,
without visibility. It's impossible.
Oh, did you get that? You can't get credibility without visibility.
You can't.
I did get that, Jabo.
And then visibility is that being present, being in the place. And where is this place? Networking. Where did you go for you to be seen or to be part of that visibility? Who knows about you? Right? That's what it is, the networking. We talked about the networking to start with again. That's why I'm talking about BNI highly. Where did you go to be seen? We have the Champions Networking we run at DBI every Friday, last of the month. Were you there? Did you miss out? So what we're saying actually, I think is, as we always say, it's not late to join. It's getting late.
I think the key thing here is that, and this is what a lot of people misunderstand around networking. When you take time out to create visibility for your business, you're not taking time out in your business, you're working on your business.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Now, if you were to go and spend money on digital marketing, you would feel very comfortable to go and talk to a digital marketing expert
Yes.
and spend an hour or two about your strategic plan. But yet, when you go to networking, you think you're taking time out of your business. You're not.
No,
You're investing in the visibility of your business,
Yes.
providing you go and have conversations.
That's correct.
Now, what most people try and do at networking is sell. They try and sell. The
Yes.
problem is, that 20 people turn up into the room, 20 people have also gone there to sell.
Yeah.
And do you know what's missing? No one's going to buy anything.
Because you're all sellers.
Because you're all sellers. What you can do is build some relationships.
Yes.
Yes.
That's
Stop
correct.
selling, build some relationships, and then you can withdraw later on.
Yes.
Wow. This radio is getting
Guys.
exciting and
Week in, week out.
Wow, this is really wonderful gems of knowledge and wisdom. So everyone is in the market for selling, but you're going in to build a relationship.
Correct.
And this is what we know as in our nature, in our culture. We should be banking on this one. When you come from the black community, particularly, this is how you are brought up. It does not matter if you come from Africa or the Caribbean. The parents will tell you when you enter a place, say hello, greetings. It's important, visibility. Build a relationship. You cannot just walk in and say, "Can I have salt?" Hello first. Start from there. That's how we've been taught.
That's correct.
So when we're in the business, we're thinking now, "Oh, I can just walk in saying I'm selling this." No, we're not brought up like that. So these are the things we need to be banking on.
That's correct.
And walk tall.
Yes.
Irrespective of what you've got to sell, don't think somebody else has a greater value than yourself.
No.
No. Because if you don't believe in yourself, why should anybody else?
Oh, walk tall.
Yes.
Walk tall. I think we need to bring Benson next time.
Yes, I
Talk
know.
about the slave of maternity. We had this conversation last time when we were saying, why is it people are walking, putting themselves down? It's like you are not worthy of owning £1 million. You are not worthy to be a CEO. You are not worthy. Start going down. So you touch on something there, walking tall.
I'll give you a good example of that. Did you ever watch Dragon's Den when Levi Roots went to do his pitch?
Yes.
Okay, did he come in and sell with a very powerful presentation, or did he come in with his guitar and say,
He's a guitar and say, yes.
This is who I am.
Yeah.
Take me as you find me.
Yeah.
But I've got a brilliant product here to sell.
Yeah.
He sold himself first, then the product.
See,
Big.
listen, we're gonna have to be here all day, every day. I mean, our time is running out, Jabo. This is 45 minutes on the door. I'm just going a few pointers just to read out, Jabo, before we part, or before you give Mr. Benson a chance to tell us more about the upcoming events and things happening, and also telling us your handles so people can follow you. I'm sure it's with people from the BME background to follow you and see what you do. I'm going to be following you, and I need more referrals. So I've just got a few things here. I'm going to read this. This is a reading. So overcoming stereotype and bias. Network allows BME entrepreneurs to challenge stereotypes and bias by showcasing their skills, ability, and achievement. It can help and break down barriers and open doors that might otherwise remain closed due to preconceived notions or discrimination. So put yourself in a room full of other people.
Yeah.
You know, it's not okay just to be talking from outside and say, I'm not getting loan, because go into the environment, be there, face to face. You might meet managing director of Lloyd's or Barclays in this, and then you can pose a question, build a relationship, take their card, take your cards with you, tell them what you do. Maybe you're not probably walking in the right path or you're walking to the right buildings, but networking is key, and I think it is. It is important. Another one here is peer support. Building a network of fellow BME entrepreneur providers provides a sense of community, peer support, which I'm sure me and Jabo do every time. The connections can be source of motivation, encouragement, and shared experience, helping business owners navigate the unique challenges they may face. So it doesn't have to be a building full of white people. It can be building, you and 3, 4, 5 people sharing the table like we just did. I'm sure I've learned a lot. If I don't meet you here today, I've learned a lot. And it's networking. We have networked.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be a massive fancy building with lights and champagne. It can be really in a very small shape. But the whole point is you're supporting each other. Which is they call here peer supporting. Any last words, Mr. Benson, for us?
What I would say is that if you're looking to go on a journey of discovery in terms of you want to be a better person or contribute something to the community, when you're out networking, ask better questions. Don't listen to yourself talking, because there are more clever people than you that have walked the path already.
Sorry, I didn't have you on camera. Let me have you on camera. I didn't hear that. I don't think Jabo heard that properly. I think it's worth reminding that our listeners. So, what did you get there? Say that again, please. Come again.
Yeah, so what tends to happen at network is a lot of people go in there and they talk a lot.
Yeah.
And actually, the skill is to ask really good questions and to listen. They've already worked the path that you're trying to follow.
Yes.
Just ask better questions.
Yes, that's correct. Don't try to be a clever clock.
No.
The idea is to go there and build relations, like you said.
There's no shame in saying, actually, I'm new to business.
Yes.
No shame at all.
Yes.
The only stupid question is the question that's not asked.
You might gain a lot from people, because they'll be like, you didn't know about this, and suddenly you come home fully handed. So how do we get hold of you, Mr. Benson, Mr. Campbell?
I'm happy for you to share that email address out, because it'll be more pertinent to the people. I answer the emails quicker than the social media platforms. So, so Benson at bnidevon.co.uk. I'm happy to signpost people in terms of, if they've got some ideas that they want to translate into business. I think, we talk ourselves out of, we can't make, I'm not sure if we can do that, I'm not sure if we can do that. The reality is, if you look for solutions, you find them. If you look for problems, you also find them.
Yes. Oh, wow. That's true.
These big words and these wisdom are massive, and it's just like, this is my happy days of the Friday is always my happy days to come here and learn a lot.
Yes.
But also, I've known Benson for a while, and he's very humble. And I just thought about the one proverb which is on our board in my office. My wife, she's the one who put it up there. There is no unity without humility. See, by that being humble, it creates this unity. So I just want to say thank you for that, and knowing your humility. I just have one question, and I'm sure you don't mind answering that question. What's the net worth of your networking?
So, good question. So, in the last 12 months, I have 160 clients currently, and we're just shy of £9.4 million worth of business invoiced.
Yes.
Invoiced.
9.4 million pound. Did you hear that?
Yes.
In Devon alone.
In Devon alone.
Yes.
And that's Mr. Campbell sitting there.
Yes.
And he's just giving you an email.
Yes.
What else do you need?
That's correct.
Get in touch.
Yes.
Do you want a little part of that? Do you want 1% of 9.4 million?
Yes.
There you go. Tap into there.
That's correct. Yes. Thank you so much. Forgive my colleague here, Jabo. He likes to know. He's sitting here with the millionaires.
But there's nothing wrong with being a sponge, is it?
Yes, there isn't. Jabo, your last words for us, please, for this week. Thank you very much for appreciating you all the time, every time here at P-Town Radio. I know you always have good words for the people. Give us.
I think what is exciting of this month, there's a lot of activities going on. Don't miss out.
Yes.
What is the key, the visibility? Benson mentioned it. Being visible, it's being part of what's happening in the society you live in. So Black History Month is on. We have a lot of activities going on. And today, Friday, here in Plymouth, in Jabalani, here at the plots, 82 Union Street, we're having African Storytelling Night. We'll have many Africans telling their story, speaking in proverb, sharing their journey, and I'm privileged to be among them. But also we're going to be having a barbecue of corns on cobs.
Yes.
Imagine that the way we do in Africa.
Yes.
On a fire,
Yes.
we're going to put the corns there.
Gotcha.
Yes, that's what they call it. So don't miss out today at 6 p.m.
Yes. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. Tendai Madume here at P-Town Radio. We are back here again next week with another exciting episode of Business Talk. Tendai Madume, Jabo, Butera. Of course, today we had our special guest, Mr. Benson, Campbell. Thank you very much, sir, for coming through. We appreciate you. Go and sing our name here. It's P-Town Radio. Don't forget, please, to follow us on Instagram and Twitter and all the social media handles these days. You follow TikTok. We are there as well. Please don't forget to check us. And I'm back here next week as usual. Stay blessed. Don't do what I wouldn't do. More sure what that is. Have a good weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.
At P-Town Radio, we can advertise your business on a small cost. For more information, contact us on email info@ptownradio.co.uk.